Hello, you're listening to Brothers Broadcasters on MLBBro.com. I am Timothy McKain, and today I have a very special guest on the Brothers Broadcasters platform, none other than former major leaguer and current radio broadcaster, Mr. Darrin Jackson. Darrin, thank you so much for giving us a few moments of your time.
Timothy, pleasure being here with you today. I'm going to enjoy this session.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I first like to start off with a quote that you talked when you talked about your mom. You talked about your experience of not really loving the game and your mom pushing you forward. Nothing attracted me to baseball, but my mom told me to play. I didn't like it, but my mom told me to continue. Looking back at it, how influential was your mom in your career as a major leaguer and as a man?
You know, great question, Timothy. I look at it this way. First and foremost, my mom insisted. I'm the baby of 6 kids, and my oldest big brother is 12 years older than me. He was into sports, and my other brother was 11 years older than me. He was into sports, and being the little brother of those guys kind of made my mom realize that the littlest guy had to go out there and play sports as well. So I think it really influenced her to make sure that I got out there, because my big brothers actually said Darrin should be playing baseball. Well, I went out there to play, was terrible, didn't like my coach, he was not very nice, and therefore I said to my mom, okay, I played, now I'm done. She said, no, you're going to go back out there the next year. And you know, it's one of those things where I learned life lessons too with my kids. You have to give something a chance to grow. Otherwise, if it's just somebody says, no, well, go ahead, you can quit, you don't know if somebody really is going to take to that. Well, my mom taught me that, because she made me go back out there. And the second year I played, I liked it a little bit. Said, okay, that's not as bad, had a better coach, so it was a better place to be. I was 8 years old, and then by the age 9, when she told me I had to go back out there again, I started liking baseball. It finally grown on me, and it became fun. But you know, the thing about it is you start having fun if you start having success. And fortunately, by age 9, I started having a little success, and nobody's going to be good at something when they first start. I don't care how natural an athlete you are, you've got to be taught the skills to play a sport. So it took me 3 seasons before I finally got the feel of the game. And had my mom not been that person, Timothy, to say, nope, you're going back out there, I would have gladly settled for, cool, I'll just play around with my friends at the park. So that was not an option.
Well, you know, I want to first congratulate your mother, because I think a lot of parents could actually take to that. You know, listening to their kids. Sometimes listening to your kids might not actually be in their best interest, especially if you see something there. So I want to congratulate your mother on that. My second question to you is, in your 12-year career, you had a successful career as a major leaguer. When you heard from Jerry Reinsdorf that he recommended that you potentially be a broadcaster, what were your thoughts going into that? You know, originally when he brought that idea up to you, and what ultimately led you to become a broadcaster?
You know, it was a kind of surreal moment, in the sense that at the time I was 36 years old, and I'd been playing a long time by then, and knew I was coming down to the end of it, because I wasn't playing as much as was going to keep me in the game, coming off the bench and being the old guy on the team, helping out with kind of teaching the game to the players. But that opportunity just kind of fell in my lap, because I was the right place, the right time. Now, I will say this. Sometimes you create your own opportunities. And for me, that was the case. I had been with the Brewers the year before, and I was trying to decide what I was going to do. I was contemplating getting out of the game. I have a good friend that was like a little brother to me by the name of Chris Singleton. And Chris had just been traded from the Giants, I believe it was, to the White Sox. And I'd been training with him for some years. He hadn't gotten to the big leagues yet. And he says, Darrin, you got to come back and play another year. You got to just come. I just got to the White Sox. And I realized, with that being said, the White Sox is a place I had played in '94. And that was where I wanted to work after I finished baseball in the White Sox organization. So going back as a player in '99, I said to myself, this is where you're going to finish your career and then go into coaching, managing, instructing, whatever it's going to be. I'm going to wait till the time comes, but then I'll make the decision, whatever opportunities are in front of me. Well, lo and behold, becomes the opportunity from Jerry Reinsdorf. We met at a resort in Scottsdale, Arizona. He sits down and says, "Hey, look, just you and I sitting there." He goes, "Are you interested in possibly broadcasting for us?" And I looked at him like, huh, where'd this come from? Okay. I'm thinking, yeah, it's never good when the owner of the team wants to call you in for a one-on-one meeting. I'm thinking, this can't be good, right? Turns out to be the best thing in the world, because he offered me the opportunity to do something I had no experience in, but I did know the game of baseball. And that was the key. And that's what he told me, is I want you to go teach the game of baseball. And with that information and an opportunity to go up to TV, and I did that for 9 years with Hawk Harrelson, I'm like, yeah, this was the right move, because in the end, he gave me a 3-year contract to get this under my belt, learn how to do broadcasting. And it didn't matter how many complaints were coming in about how terrible I was. I had the contract, and he wasn't going to let me go anywhere until I'd either failed in those 3 years or I proved myself a broadcaster. So Jerry waited it out, proved myself as a broadcaster, and here I am all these years later, still doing it.
That's amazing. My last question to you is, what is it like for you to know how many people have believed in you and believed in your career, and you've seen all the success that you've had because of the people that believe in you, but also yourself? I guess my question to you is, how can you help mold the next generation just like the generation previously molded you?
Well, that's a great question too, because when you talk about the people that believed in you, that's the number one driving force for me personally. Because all those people from my childhood, from my mother to coaches to family friends, to anybody that was in my background, they all believe in you and they motivate you, and you don't want to let them down. And that was my motivation, not to let the people down that believed in me. And you've got to find what that is for you as an individual. What's your motivation, number one? Hopefully it is that you've got people that believe in you. And if it's the opposite, the people that don't believe in you, prove them wrong. That's the goal. It's like, oh, you say I can't do this. Oh, I'll show you. There's 2 ways you can go about that. I was fortunate. I never had any negative background. Therefore, I didn't want to disappoint those that believed in me. And then the opportunity is when you get them, you've got to prove yourself, teach yourself, educate yourself. You cannot just take it for granted. I haven't taken it for granted that I know the game of baseball, because now you've got to learn the game of broadcasting as well. And you've got to learn that from the people that are already doing it. When I got around Ed Farmer in the radio booth, it was so much education, just watching how he went about interacting with people, getting information. And then his delivery on the play-by-play was extremely entertaining. We had a great relationship. We were like brothers. And he was a major loss, not just me, but to everybody that got to know Ed. And he also was somebody that would have loved being on this show. He was somebody that always befriended everybody, whether it be MLBbro.com or MLB period. He didn't care. He was a man of the people, man about town. And fortunately, his influence still is with me today.
Yes, sir. That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, DJ, I'm going to have to call you DJ. DJ, thank you so much for giving MLB Bro a few moments of your time. It truly is an honor. Thank you so much, sir.
Timothy, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to the next time. We'll talk about something else next time, too.
Absolutely. That's all for MLBbro.com. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace, y'all.
For more right now, go to MLBbro.com.